I've been at door 9 for almost an hour now. How about getting your crew to unload my truck so I can get to my next stop?
I'll get to you just as soon as I can.
Well, look, that truck at door 7 got here after I did. How come he's getting unloaded first?
Oh, now you're an expert at doing my job, huh? Look, you got the easy job here. All you have to do is wait. I'll get to your load as soon as I've got a clear path to move it, and the longer you stand around here complaining about it, the longer it's going to take.
What's the point of getting here on time if you're going to make me wait anyway?
Every encounter you have with another person will leave you feeling better, worse, or the same about that individual, and often about the company that he or she represents. In this case, both the driver and the customer will leave this encounter feeling worse toward the other. Under the best circumstances, both will be willing to overlook this unfortunate episode the next time they have to work together. Under the worst circumstances, the customer will make it a point to see that this driver's company isn't hired for any future hauls. The driver's company will lose what could have been a long-term customer, and the customer will lose a reliable carrier. Fortunately, it doesn't have to be this way. By using empathy, perspective, and trust, the customer and the driver could take the conflict out of this encounter and use it to build a better, long-lasting relationship. The first step in building better relationships is to replace confrontation with cooperation through empathy. Empathy means putting yourself in the other person's position. If the driver had put himself in the customer's position, he would have seen someone under a great deal of stress juggling a variety of job demands.
Yeah, I'll get that order out just as soon as I can, but the truck isn't here. I've got to call into the dispatcher, but he hasn't called me back yet. As soon as I find out what's happening, I'll call you. Yes, I know you need the load today, and I'll do the best I can. Yes, I'll call you back.
He would have seen someone managing the demands of coordinating departures and arrivals, allocating warehouse space, and scheduling employees.
Hey, hold up. Look, Jerry called in sick today. I need you to work overtime. I'll let you go as soon as I can, but we got to get this loaded just as soon as the truck arrives.
Man, I've got tickets for game tonight. Can't you get Stan to stay late?
Stan's working overtime, too. Hey, if this truck ever gets here, you might be able to catch the second half. Look, I'm sorry, but I got to have you work late.
Oh, I never catch a break.
Yeah? Well, when will he get here? I wish you'd called early. I just caught hell from my customer. And, okay, I don't suppose there's anything we can do about it now, but my customer's going to be plenty upset if he doesn't get his load today. Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Now it's the customer's turn to empathize. If he'd been able to spend the day with the driver, he would have seen someone taking care to see that his cargo was loaded safely. He would have been impressed by the planning that goes into selecting a route and coordinating with the dispatcher.
Yeah, I've got the load on. I'll be leaving soon. Now, I was going to take I-94, but I've heard some reports of traffic delays. What have you heard? Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'll take I-94 to the 103 exit, then cut south to 61. Well, that ought to get me there in plenty of time.
And our customer would have seen the driver safely negotiating his cargo through heavy highway and city traffic. By the time they meet, both the driver and the customer have already dealt with some pretty big challenges.
Hey, I've been at door 9 for almost an hour now. How about getting your crew to unload my truck so I can get to my next stop?
I'll get to you just as soon as I can.
Well, look, that truck at Bay 7 got here after I did. How come he's getting unloaded first?
Oh, so now you're an expert at doing my job, huh? Look, you got the easy job here. All you have to do is wait. I'll get to your load as soon as I've got a clear path to move it. And the longer you stand here complaining about it, the longer it's going to take.
What's the point of getting here on time if you're going to make me wait anyway?
Let's see how this encounter could have gone differently if both the customer and the driver had used empathy to understand the other's position.
Hey, looks like you've got a busy day going. I'm still ready to unload at door 9, but I could move to a different door if it'd help you get to my load quicker.
Oh, no, and sorry to keep you waiting. I know you got here right on schedule. My crew's clearing a place for your load right now. Truck in Bay 7 came in 2 hours later than expected, fouled up our whole schedule. Shouldn't take too much longer.
Thanks.
By empathizing with the customer, the driver was able to put the current situation into perspective. He began his encounter by acknowledging the customer's circumstances and demonstrating a willingness to help find a solution rather than complaining. With this acknowledgement, the customer is much more willing to respond to the driver in a similar tone. He acknowledges that the driver is on time and demonstrates that he is making an effort to get the driver unloaded as soon as possible. Both have made a step toward a working relationship based on trust and simple courtesy. But not every customer or driver is so reasonable. Sometimes a driver will encounter a customer who offers no empathy, completely lacks perspective, and is not interested in a relationship based on trust. Customers may encounter the same characteristics in drivers. When this occurs, each person needs to double his or her efforts in all these areas.
I got your load from Cincinnati. Where do you want to drop?
Where the hell you been? You should have been here 2 hours ago.
This is a real test for the driver. Before he responds, he takes a moment to formulate a response that acknowledges the customer's distress without escalating the confrontation. Then he gives the customer time to blow off some steam.
Where the hell you been? You should have been here 2 hours ago.
I can see that this puts you in a bind. I'd hoped to be here on schedule, but there were traffic delays on I-35.
Traffic delays, huh? Well, 2 hours is a long time for a traffic delay. Look, I got customers of my own. I'm going to be spending 2 days playing catch-up on this thing.
As much as the driver would like to respond to this, he won't. Instead, he'll offer another statement that demonstrates empathy, then one that offers a positive step away from confrontation.
I know you run a tight operation here. I'm sorry to delay your schedule. What can I do to get my truck unloaded faster?
Back it into door 9. I'll get my crew over there right now. If you bring the paperwork over to the office while they're unloading, maybe, just maybe, this won't be a complete disaster.
In this encounter, the customer was justifiably upset, but the driver did not let the situation become confrontational. Instead, he acknowledged the customer's concern.
I can see that this puts you in a bind.
He let the customer express himself without arguing.
Traffic delay, huh? 2 hours, a long time for a traffic delay. Look, I've got customers of my own. I'm going to be spending the next 2 days playing catch-up because of this.
And he offered to move toward a solution.
I know you run a tight operation here, and I'm sorry to delay your schedule. What can I do to help get my truck unloaded faster?
Back it into door 9. I'll get my crew over there right now. If you bring the paperwork up to the office while they're unloading, maybe, just maybe, this won't be such a complete disaster.
Remember, every encounter offers the opportunity for the other party to feel better, worse, or the same about working with you. If you rely on empathy, perspective, and trust as relationship-building tools, chances are good the other person will feel better about working with you. By making these strategies part of your approach to working with others, you'll make life easier for everyone, including yourself, and work more productively by building better relationships.